Story number three. New Kendrick Lamar theory emerges. I know in the past couple of weeks I talked about the theory that the 4 tracks represent the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Shout out to Passion of the Weiss. They published an editorial that really detailed that. It's a really great read. Check out the video, check out the article. It's on this channel. It's called New Kendrick Lamar Theory Emerges. And now we have another one. So this theory for Watch the Party Die, this theory was put together by, I really consider this someone who's an incredibly astute music fan, music follower. His name is JF Music. He goes by JF Music on Instagram. His name is James Francis. It sounds like he is a tech and rap. Oh, he teach rap and loves to yap. So that's what he does. He does breakdowns. This right here, he sounds like he's in the UK, but he put together a breakdown of Watch the Party Die that is wildly impressive and wildly nuanced. We're going to watch this. I'm going to do my best not to pause it too much because it gets pretty nuanced. But this is a fantastic breakdown of this track. So let's take a listen.
Here's what the new Kendrick song means. You guys were trying to make me drop a video at 2 a.m. You've lost your minds. The first place to start is this song is not called Watch the Party Die. This song is untitled. If only Kendrick had.
The song is untitled. There was a lot of confusion already when that came out. I mean, Genius has the name as Watch the Party Die. And then Genius also has another one that says Black Forces. I kind of like Black Forces, to be honest. But nobody really knew what this song is called. So if it's called Untitled, it's called Untitled. That's fine. But Watch the Party Die has won the SEO war. I'll tell you that.
A studio album that was also named Untitled. Oh, wait, he does. As far as I'm concerned, this whole song is a flip of Untitled 1 from Untitled Unmastered. I saw Mimi the music blogger, who sick music journalist, she reposted my Family Ties video to her Twitter.
See what that says. Both the book of Revelation and that story are prophetic, portraying a betrayal of God in a major way, reaching its conclusion.
She said that there's a lot of parallels between this song and the story of Moses and the golden calf, and I can see the song through that lens as well. I think it's because Kendrick is drawing a parallel between the apocalypse given in the book of Revelation and basically the dissemination of the music industry. And this to me is the most obvious interpretation of this song. For example, in the song he says no more pillow talking, jumpstarting neighborhood wars. He's echoing Untitled 1 when he says no more running from world wars. What is Untitled 1 about? Untitled number 1 is basically an image of the apocalypse happening because of the dissemination of humanity, but it's an expansion of his conversation on mortal man, which again, he reasserts himself as being a
Here's the mortal man quote. I freed you from being a slave in your mind. You're very welcome. You tell me my song is more than a song. It's surely a blessing. But a prophet ain't a prophet till they ask you this question.
Prophet ain't a true prophet till they ask you this question. They're basically talking about the direction that the world is heading if there's not an immediate change. And so Kendrick here saying it's time to watch the party die, this is what he's talking about. He's talking about the direction in which the industry has gone. It's time to watch that version of
similar to the apocalypse portrayed in Untitled 1.
The industry die. This is not a Drake diss track, although there are things that are still aimed at Drake here. A couple of other things to me that point that this is a direct mirror of Untitled 1 is he quotes the book of Revelation. He says, I see a new earth filled with beautiful people, which if you know biblical literature, the book of Revelation, John says, and I saw a new heaven and a new earth, and the first heaven passed away and then the new earth has come. The book of Revelation is written by John, a different John that wrote the Gospels. And he basically has a prophetic vision about the apocalypse, which is exactly what Untitled number 1 is about. That's why he says at the beginning of the song, I see it vividly jogging my brain memory. He's talking about having a vision. So Kendrick in Untitled...
I'm telling you, man, like, This is a fire breakdown. Fire breakdown. Look at the places he's reaching. Biblical history, Untitled Unmastered. People don't even talk about Untitled Unmastered. They don't talk about that project. enough, in my opinion. It's almost skipped over when they talk about how incredible Kendrick's catalog is. So this dude, JF Music, James Francis, they're talking about biblical history, revelations, and it's all tied into this track per their breakdown from their point of view. This is fascinating.
Titled 1 is making a parallel between himself and John, the writer of the book of Revelation. The first part of the book of Revelation, John talks to the 7 churches, and then the
If you're asking why I know all of this, I almost went to Cambridge for theology, but that's a story for another day. That's a great point. That's a great, yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay, good. There we go. I feel less dumb now.
tail end is him having all the visions that people ascribe with apocalyptic literature. But also in Revelation 2:20, when he's talking to one of the churches, he's talking about how they've given themselves over to Jezebel, which is also what Kendrick mentions here. I hope this is becoming abundantly clear.
Okay, so the Jezebel part he has here says, "But I have this complaint against you. You are permitting that woman, that Jezebel, who calls herself a prophet, to lead my servants astray. She teaches them to commit sexual sin and to eat food offered to idols. I gave her time to repent, but she does not want to turn away from her immorality. And the lyrics are, they wondered why I'm not enthused to drop. The more visible you get, the more your spiritual is tried. It's cynical to say, I know these artists petrified. The end result in jail by Jezebel or drugged up full of lies."
Clear the reason why this song is untitled. Every other song that has been released in this way has a title. Even 616 in LA has a title. It's untitled because it's a parallel.
Just real quick, I know I keep pausing, but I want to read what's on these screens. I have a theory this is his Heart Part 6, but Drake used that, so he's refusing to as well, but we'll see.
Of Untitled 1 from Untitled Unmastered. This is also why he says, why reason with these guys if they can't see the future?
I shouldn't need to point out this apocalyptic imagery anyway. He's clouded us. I think it's a good thing he's doing.
First, he's putting himself in the position of being prophetic, but also because what he said in Euphoria basically transcribed the whole beef. It's also a double because of Like That, seeing the future first. Like That was a song with Future that first started this beef. He says,
he's talking to us like, duh, and this is incredible analysis, especially for a song that came out 2 days ago. I think 2 days ago. Like, I wonder if he got this off his first listen. This makes more sense now too, why he mentions Lecrae and D1. I mean, there's a deeper connection to the song by mentioning Lecrae and D1, possibly the two biggest Christian rappers. I know that's probably not a term. I'm not saying that to limit them, but in that space, probably the two biggest. And also, he has relationships with them as well. But now it ties into the song in a different way. I made a video about that. It's on the channel right now. It just went up this morning, so check it out if you missed it.
If you parade in gluttony without giving truth to the youth, the graveyard is company. Just tell them what casket to choose, which is a crazy...
Also, like that FPS Family Matters funeral flip. Also, a like that FPS first-person shooter Family Matters funeral flip. Hold on, let me hear what he said there again.
A future that first started this beef. He says, if you parade in gluttony without giving truth to the youth, the graveyard is company. Just tell them what casket to choose, which is a crazy bar. Again, the purpose of this is not just to have shots at Drake. It's talking about how this is emblematic of the music industry at large. They glorify scamming. You get chipped over this credit card is a triple entendre. 1, again, this applies to Drake. He has rapped before about doing phone scams. 2, this is a shot at the industry at large. 3, the lyrical double entendre is chipped over this credit card. Credit cards have chips inside of them. But 4 is a flip on his bar from Euphoria of everybody wants to be demon till they get chipped by your throwaway, which that bar in itself is already a triple entendre. Before on its own...
You better come with a double, triple entendre, something I don't even understand. Woo! Drake set himself up, boy. Set himself up, because that's exactly what he got. It's all happening.
And that bar was only in relation to...
Wait, remember made his homeboys and them type sell their soul. It's an industry play.
Okay. Bar from Euphoria of everybody wants to be demon till they get chipped by your throwaway, which that bar in itself is already a triple entendre. Before on its own, that bar was only in relation to Drake and J. Cole, because J. Cole removed his diss track without Kendrick doing anything, so he literally got chipped by Kendrick's throwaway like that. But in this context of this Untitled theory...
Yeah, I'm sorry, the way he said that sounded like so much shade at J. Cole. It's like, yeah, one, you know, because J. Cole threw his song away without doing anything, so he got he got chipped literally by Kendrick's throwaway. Oh God, I'm running this back. This dude is spitting, man.
Like that. But in this context of this Untitled theory, he's talking about everybody wants to be demon. He's talking about the industry at large is at fault, which he's going to go into later into this track. Then this whole influencers talk down because I'm not with the basic stuff. This is just a criticism of the culture and Drake fans, basically, which I have the same criticism. I've said this before.
Like I said, Ice Spice's Y2K is not better than Futura Free by Frank Ocean because Ice Spice is more club friendly. We get it majorly twisted.
And that resides in patience, so where the soldier's at. This whole part is a flip on the Heart Part 6. If you listen to Dissect Podcast, he just talked about how the Super Bowl ad video was a flip on the Patton narrative.
But what you might have missed is that this set seems inspired by the iconic scene from the classic film Patton, where the decorated war general gives one of the most famous speeches in history.
Americans love a winner and will not tolerate a loser.
He is doing the same here. Remember when Drake was like, oh, we waited and then we fed you the information and I'm petty with dedication? Kendrick flips both of those bars here. The clown bar here is a flip from the Heart Part 6 of the ones you're getting your stories from, they all clowns. Drake says, I am a war general, seasoned in preparation, my jacket is covered in medals. Kendrick is basically flipping this saying, how can you be a soldier if you don't have the patience? And that basically lost you the battle. Only half the flip, other half of that flip is him saying, here are the qualities of what a soldier actually looks like. Here's what dedication actually looks like. I feel for the women, this part to me is a shot at academics. This also plays again into my Untitled 1 theory. If you look at some of the lyrics he describes in that apocalyptic image, very much maps onto the things that academics has been charged with. I'm gonna
not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
Leave that there. This how many women harder than a lot of you brothers. Betrayed all of you for nip. I can't be proud of you brothers. This is a Jay-Z flip. On the part 2, on the run, he says, my baby mama harder than a lot of you brothers. He's talking about Beyonce.
I think this Oblige bar is a Mary J. Blige bar. She has a song called Family Affair, who also performed at the Super Bowl.
Which is in reference to the Super Bowl, is it not? His mention of dedication here is also in reference to Kendrick's song with Nipsey Hussle called Dedication. But he's also saying, where are the soldiers at? Who are the people who are going to represent the industry in the right way? Hence why he said, I'd trade Nipsey Hussle for all of you guys, because Nipsey was emblematic of this sentiment. We all already know this. This contending with God on the chorus is very reminiscent of 616 in LA, which was basically having this same contention of what attitude should Kendrick have towards this, which brings me on to the Lecrae part, which there's an obvious flip that no one is talking about. One, Lecrae made the point that Kendrick is making on this track. D1 is also from New Orleans, but Lecrae said relatively recently that Drake is a fan of the culture, whereas Kendrick is a product of the culture. But this flip of sometimes I wonder what Lecrae would do is a flip on Drake, because Drake has a song called What Would Pluto Do, which I think this is the most interesting.
He's highlighting the differences symbolically and how they play into their behavior.
Interesting sentiment of the whole song. So yeah, my Untitled theory to me is extremely compelling. There are some obvious flips, but this is basically mourning the death of the industry. And I have a feeling he is not done with this, but either way, he is criticizing the
low-key, I think he's about to slide on the industry soon, but we'll see.
Industry as it stands, and while it's definitely not an initiation of round 2, it is pretty confrontational. I am genuinely curious on how Drake is going to respond. Him dropping a diss track to me would make no sense. Kendrick is already adding insult to injury on this track a tiny bit, and so I'm interested in how this is going to progress. Take care, and see you tomorrow. Here's what...
Yeah, bravo. Big shots, big shots, big shout out to James Francis. Make sure you follow him, man. Follow him on Instagram. Here's his account. James Francis, JF Musics, MUSIX. I'm wildly impressed. I'm wildly impressed with that analysis and how many different places it reaches to. You know, I was saying yesterday, I was like, yeah, you know, I'm not even sure if that the Cray interview sparked that song or not. Maybe it came before that. Who knows? Yeah, I mean, everything he's saying right here lines up. It lines up a whole lot. So let me know what you guys think about this. I love this. I love this conversation. I love this stuff, as I mentioned before. Not even just with Kendrick or this battle in general. You know what I mean? My first blog was called The Quotable. I love rap. The thing I love most about rap, not hip-hop, but rap in general, is that it's about the words are the instruments. So things like this always get me really excited. My name is Justin Hunt. Like, subscribe to the channel. Follow at The Company Man on everything. It's all happening.
Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. The mathematical breakdown of this mighty game of rap we in. It's boom bapping in. Systematical culture views us radical, it's all happening. Shaking hands and dapping it. Life through the lens of hip hop, from trip hop to yes, yes, y'all, you don't stop, you don't stop. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. It's all happening, yes, it's all happening. Justin Hunt is here, it's all happening. It's all happening, yes, it's all happening.